Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Rupam drishyam lochanam druk tadrishyam druktumanasam drishyadhivrittaya sakshi drubeva natu drishyate. The object cannot see the subject. This is a rule. Rupam drishyam, the colors and forms, they cannot see the vision. The vision is drushya, object. This vision cannot see the mind. Mind or the thoughts are the objects, they cannot know the sakshi, the witnessing consciousness. So, drugeva natu drishyate. The rule establishes the knower can never be known. This is the rule. Now let us try to see how true it is. This bulb which is having light, this bulb can illuminate everything. Has anybody ever seen how the electricity looks like in the light of this bulb? It cannot be seen. See. Now, next step in understanding. Colors and forms are many. Red, green, yellow, black, white, there are many. Now what is the color of the vision? Vision doesn't have any color. Because the vision doesn't have color, the colors and forms cannot see. In this manner, the subject can never become an object for the object. So, in this manner, when we start, if I want to see the eyes, what I have to do? I have to drop the colors and forms. Then who will be seeing the eyes? Eyes will not be seen by the eyes, but the eyes will be seen by the mind. See? So, our eyes can see everything. If I apply my eyes to see themselves, the eyes fail. So the eyes become blind when they have to employ or apply on themselves. So what should be the practice therefore? We want to drop the objects, come to the sense organs. How can come? No comment on everything in this world. No comment about anything. When we see something beautiful, aha, see how beautiful, you are lost. See, something is very important, you are lost. See, and we all have this habit of giving comments or opinions about everything in this world. So no opinion, no comments. Slowly we drop the world. How simple it is. But we have default settings in our system. We have to give comments. We can't stop. Like we tell somebody that, hey, you should not do this thing. This I learned from a taxi fellow. My gurus are all of you. I am not poor like you, having one guru with great difficulty. I got thousands of them spread all over. So this I learned from a taxi driver. We were going by car and my friend told me, Swami, see that next taxi is that door is open. So I'll take the car parallel and lower the window You tell him कि भाई तुम्हारा दरवाजा खुला है, बंद कर लो. So many people do this. So car was parallel, the window down, and I told him, I said, hey Mahatmaji, your door is open. He said, who asked you? Right. Nothing wrong, he was not wrong. So when he said, who asked you? I said, oh, I'm sorry. I closed. My friend said, sorry, see, you are doing good to him, but how he retorted back. I said, don't blame him. He has given me a Guru Mantra. See? And then I found a reference in the scriptures. Na prishtaha kasyachid bruyat, na cha anyayena cha pruchhataha, janan api medhavi jadaval lokamacharayet. See? Na bruyat kasyachid prishtaha. If somebody has not asked you, don't talk. And even if somebody asks you, but if not out of inquiry, but casually, what is your opinion about Indian politics? About this also I learned a great Maha Mantra from the children of USA. You ask anything to these kids in USA, they first of all start with the uncalled for noise. So suppose a class 7, 8, 10 years, hey, what do you want to become? In which profession you want to go? I don't know. That day, I was so happy. When you answer the question, I don't know, all subsequent questions stop. I don't know, over. I follow that very strictly. Because so many things will be asked, and we give our opinion. There is no need. So how to drop the world? No comment, no opinion, no evaluation, no suggestion. And the worst thing that we have is we want to do good to others. अपना तो सत्यानाश कर लिया. We want to good to others. Impossible. Where God has failed to improve us, so we want to improve others. So what the parents do, they want to improve their children. What they have achieved in their life, nothing, except the liability of the children. See, friends. Therefore, how do we drop the objective world? If you want to migrate subjectively to the absolute, drop one by one. No comments on this world. See? No comments on anything that is happening to you. Because when it comes from your sense organs, mind, etc., some or the other thing will happen. When you talk to somebody, it is your fault because you talk. There is one very simple rule. If the wife is talking, you should keep quiet. And if she is quiet, don't start talking. There will be peace at home. So, one day I did this mistake. Those who can't learn from their mistakes, God can't teach them. I asked one old lady, Punjabi, Amma, how are you? It is my fault, why did I ask? She started. Swamiji, this morning when I got up from the bed, this ankle got twisted, and then she started describing the whole thing so lively that I started feeling pain in my joints. No need. So what is to be done? Another lesson. Don't talk about your health, about your problem to anybody in this world. No need. Because there will be 100 million doctors bouncing on you. Because in India, everybody is a doctor by birth. See? Like, sometimes I do like this thing. Immediately after my lecture is over, there will be 20 medicines coming. Swami, you take this thing. But this already I got. No, this is not good potency. I got more potency. The third one comes. Don't take allopathy. Take homeopathy. Sabudana khichdi. See, friends, don't talk about your health. It is like that. In short, our attention is neither on the world, nor on the sense organs, nor on the mind. Then there is nothing to talk about. Silence is of two types. One silence is a pregnant silence. Second silence is an empty silence. The pregnant silence is very uncomfortable. Empty silence is you are at peace. See, friends. So if you are not at peace, then it is a pregnant silence. Something is boiling inside, but you are not talking. Then the fumes come out. See? Many times, when we talk to people, there are some people, I don't know, maybe it's my problem, I cannot look at their eyes. There are some people. It's very difficult because as if they are going to bounce on you. That's very uncomfortable silence. Therefore, when we thus value our silence, then we come to a point that other than us, nothing is. And this I, which is not against anyone or anything, there is nothing to discuss about. But instead of holding on to this subjective, objectless awareness, 3 words I am using. Objectless awareness is the word coined by J. Krishnamurti, but it remains only a kind of a abstract expression. Therefore, I am adding subjective. Subjective, objectless awareness is that wherein you are at peace with yourself, and because it is objectless, thoughts will not disturb you. Thoughts will come. Like this tractor is running. So we are hearing it. But it is not a source of disturbance. See, friends, in this manner, drugeva natu drushyate. So we will come to know that whenever we are disturbed, we have given importance to that. You give importance to anything, it will disturb you. Take any example. Give importance to perfection. You will be perfectly miserable in this world because you are a perfectionist. Why should I be miserable ordinary? I am perfectly miserable. Simple things. Give importance to discipline, you will be most miserable. Therefore, the day we devalue everything in this world, objectless awareness, then we will remain in this world, but the world won't disturb us like the space supports the 4 elements, but is not influenced by any one of them. Bhagavad Gita says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapaha, na shoshayati maruta. Enam, to this space, The weapons cannot cut, the waters cannot wait, the fire cannot burn, and the air cannot dry. But all these four elements cannot exist without the space. In the same manner, this whole world is existing in me. Therefore, nothing can disturb me. Have you ever heard sugarcane suffering from diabetes? It cannot. See? Or the cobra suffering from venomous poisons? No. It is their nature. In the same manner, be attentive. Objects are gross. These objects are caught by the sense organs. Sense organs are subtle. Cause is always subtle, effect is always gross. Cause is always unknown, effect is always known. So from the known effect, we reach the cause. See, when a child is born, whether the child can hear or not, how will you know? So what we do? We make some noise. So the child looks this way, he can hear. See? So be attentive. All objects are grossified sense organs. Like the ice is grossified water. But is it other than the water? No. Now what is the difference between the ice and the water? Ice has color, form, shape and could be many pieces. Water doesn't have color, form, shape and is one. Therefore, one vision is able to eliminate all the colors and forms. So effects are many, cause is one. And when there is no cause, when the eyes are closed, where are the effects, where are the colors and forms? They don't exist. Be attentive. Therefore, where are all the objects in this world? All the objects in this world are only in the sense organs. See, this principle is simple but difficult to understand because we are not worked on it. I learned this thing from one of my friends. He invited me for seeing his factory in Gujarat, and I was so tired, like yesterday I came exhausted fully, but he didn't allow me. I have to go to his factory. And we have choiceless existence, what can we do? I have been there. And then he took me in a hall where there were dozens of big machines and making awfully horrible noise. He wanted to explain me. I said, come on, yaar, enough is enough now. I'll push you out and get out, okay? You are taking me for granted. I came out. Then he said, how do you like? I said, what do you like? I am feeling pity on those workers working behind the machine, such terrible noise. You don't give them anything to cover their ears. He said, Swamiji, this is what I wanted to tell you. All the workers in my factory are challenged workers. I said, what is the challenge there? All of them are deaf. For them, the object sound doesn't exist. For the blind people, object colors and forms don't exist. One of my friends used to always have nose block. He always used to tell me, Swamiji, you talk about 5 objects. I have no only 4. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. I don't have Gandha. Nose is always blocked. So where are all these objects in the world? All the objects in the world are nothing but your own sense organs. See, now go further. These sense organs are gross and the mind is subtle. The same mind coming out of the eyes becomes the vision. Coming out of the ears becomes hearing ability. Coming out of the nose becomes poking ability. We poke nose, isn't it? Pokeability. So mind is one. There are not many minds. Therefore, none of the sense organs can ever know what the mind is. Because sense organs can function only in Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and mind doesn't have any one of the qualities. So when the mind doesn't have color and form, how the eyes can see? When the mind doesn't have taste, how the tongue can taste it? No. Be attentive. This journey is not spatio-temporal journey. It is from the object to the subject and culminates into objectless awareness. See? Drugeva natu drushyate. In Kathopanishad, a mantra comes. Indriyebhya parayartha arthebhyascha param manaha manasastu para buddhi buddhiratma mahan paraha mahataha param avyaktam avyaktat purusha paraha purushanna param kinchit sa kashta sa paragati. In comparison to the sense organs, the objects are subtle because they are only the tanmatra, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. As compared to them, the mind is subtle. Compared to the mind, buddhi is subtle. Compared to the buddhi, the total intellect is subtle. Compared to total intellect, the prakriti is subtle. Compared to prakriti, the atma is subtle. And beyond this atma, there is nothing. It is here Buddhists get lost. Therefore they talk about nothingness, void. See friends, it is not there is nothing means nothing is not an object. There is nothing means this is the ultimate. Sa kashta sa paragati. This is the ultimate you are reached. You can't go beyond it. It is something like this. There was one girl, when I went for her marriage, she virtually ran and put her hand on my mouth. Swamiji, don't call me by that name. Because when I went to her house, she was small and very bad mood. So her mother said, Swamiji, she is so off mood today, I don't know what I have done or what. Very angry, frustrated. I said, okay, let me talk to her. I said, hey, how are you? What is your name? Kuch nahi. She retorted me back. Kuch nahi. From that day onward, I started calling her the Kuch nahi. The Kuch nahi, is it a name? She meant, I don't want to talk to you. So I told her, I thought, oh, your name is Kuch nahi. Very good, rare name. Is it beyond the reach of Google? So from then onward, I always to address her, hey Kuch nahi, how are you? She became so disgusted, so when I went for her marriage, she thought I'll again call her Kuch nahi. In the same manner, when it is said, beyond this Atma there is nothing. So you hold on to, oh, there is nothing. No. Drugeva natu drushyate. You are the ultimate. And you know the beautiful part of it? Like a husband can never become a man because he is already a man. Husband he has become. In the same manner, the objects are nothing but sense organs have become object. Similarly, the mind has become the sense organs. Similarly, this conscious reality has become the mind. It is the process of becoming. And the spiritual practice is the process of being. Stop becoming anybody and be what you are. Being is natural. Becoming is abnormal. Whatever is abnormality, we suffer because of that. As a man, we never suffer. As a husband, we are never happy. Because you have become husband, don't become, remain man. But then how to conduct yourself? Don't take this husband seriously. We are fortunately, you will have no difficulty in learning. We are in Karnataka. Natak karo. If you are in front of your wife, meow, meow. But every time not like that. That's it. You will be extremely cheerful and happy in spite of your wife. So, drushya dhrivastaya sakshi durgeva natu drishyate. Now, this is the principle we have learned. Why I gave you so much emphasis on this first verse? If this verse you catch properly, other things are just like a snap. Now, the second verse. नीलपीत स्थूल सूक्ष्म ह्रस्व दीर्घादि भेदतः नाना विधानि रूपाणि पश्ये लोचनम एकधा. The colors and forms are plenty, many, but all of them are illuminated by one vision. See? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Pranabandhanat liyate manaha ekachintanat nashametyada. When you do pranayam, the mind is controlled for some time. But that is not all. The moment the curfew of pranayam is lifted, mind again becomes violent. Then the relatively quiet mind after pranayam, ekachintanat, it is employed for contemplation on the one. See? Ekada. There are two types of ones. One type of the one is the one which is followed by two, which can be multiplied by two. The second type of one is the one which is neither followed by two nor multiplied by two. The second one is infinite. There are not two infinities. You cannot divide infinite. You cannot multiply. That ekada. See, friends. Our waking experiences are different. Agreed. Our dreams are different. Agreed. But our deep sleep is a common experience. Deep sleeps are not different. It is not your deep sleep, oh, you are, young, your deep sleep is young. I am old. No. In deep sleep, there is neither the sense of individuality nor a sense of otherness. And therefore, like for all the waves, ocean is a common factor. In the same manner, all of us come out of the deep sleep like the waves come out of the common ocean. Every wave has its own biography, but again it goes back to the same sea. In the same manner, all of us get out of that ocean of deep sleep as individuals. Again we go back where there are no differences. And because of that, after the deep sleep, we are so fresh because the problem of multiplicity were totally dissolved. Therefore, the real spiritual practice is begin from the plenty and end up in the unity. This is what is said here. Nilapita sukshma dirgha rasvadi vedataha. Various colors, blue, yellow, etc. Big and small, short and long. These are nana vidhani rupani. There are plenty of them. But pashet lochanam ekadha. Only one vision alone is seeing all of them. Here lochanam, don't take the translation word to word translation. Lochanam ekada. Okay, with the one eye. No, that is not the meaning. Eyes may be two, vision is one. This is how happens, those who study the scriptures by translating because they know Sanskrit. Oh, Lochanam is wise. How can they see with one eye? No. Vision is one. There are not many. Then vision also becomes many. How? Andhya mandya patutveshu netra dharmeshu chaikadha sankalpair manashrotratvagadav yojjatamidam. Now we come to our vision. Vision also have got the same problem. Andhya mandya patutveshu. Either our vision is blocked, we can't see, or it is dim, we are not able to see properly, or patutveshu, or we see what is not there. So these are the different varieties in the vision, but all of them are illuminated by one mind. Minds are not many. See, friends. And in this manner, multiply this example with all other sense organs. So we come to only one mind, which is expressing through 5 sense organs as 5 faculties. And each faculty has got further multiple objects of their kind. This is how out of one the many has come out. So what will be spiritual practice? From the many start merging back into the one. Therefore, he who has perfect control over his mind, his sense organs and the worldly objects cannot influence him. We are the slaves to our mind. And what the mind does? Mind doesn't like us to stay in the present. Because if the mind has to stay in the present, mind will die. Mind cannot exist without the reference of past and future. That is why either the mind is constantly bringing the dead past in the present, see, or the mind is constantly projecting the non-existing future and worry. Hey, how the mind works. Suppose we look at something and zero comment, no comparison, no memories, no suggestions. Net result, you remain in the present. Be attentive. That time our mind is like a mirror. The mirror has no comments to offer. Mirror doesn't have past. Mirror doesn't have memory. Mirror doesn't have personality. Mirror loves none, hates none. See? Therefore, this mind is one. And when we are able to be one with that, the one mind, then what will happen? We will be able to read all the minds. This is what yogis do. The ability of theirs to read our minds is only on because of this thing. The minds are not many. Like the doctors. They study in their medical college on some dead body, various things, and then they get the knowledge which is applied to on all the bodies. Suppose the operation has to be done, let's say in a bone fracture, operation has to be done. And if the doctor says, but I can do operation only on the dead body, hurry. See, because all the bones said to be in the dead body, they are also in the same way in the living body. It is not separate. So from the study of 1 or 2 samples, we are able to generalize in the same manner. These experience, we are able to generalize provided we start practicing. So the practice will be start our journey from the many and end up in one. And when we go in the absolute one, you have no thoughts. Take an example. Suppose I ask you, about 187 days before, for breakfast, what did you take? Come on, 187, tension started. And then what did I eat? Again worries. What did I eat? Or if I ask you to go in the future, after 377 days, where will you be? I don't know. The moment you go in the past and the future, mind starts tensions. And if you are asked, be wherever you are. See, what more meditation you want? But our mind is very smart. When we are just sitting, okay, I am in the present, nothing to do with past and future. Why these people are making noise? They don't understand we are studying. I think we should go and complain. Mind will not keep shut. Because we have trained our mind to react with everything in this world. If the mind stops reacting, the mind dissolves. Mind survives only because of reactions. And friends, reaction doesn't mean only bad things. Good things are equally reactions. Whether you are tied down by a steel chain or you are tied down by a golden chain, you are bound by the chain. See, friends, therefore, this mind alone becomes many. What is that? Kama sankalpa sandeho shraddha shraddhe dhrutitare dhir hrir bhir ittevam adin bhasayate kadhachiti. Now the mind also has got many things in it. Which are those? Kamaha, desire, sankalpa, projection, sandeha, doubt, shraddha, faith, ashraddha, no faith, dhruti, perseverance, itare, non-perseverance, ri, shyness, dhihi, understanding, bhihi, fear. In this manner, there are many modifications of the mind. And all these modifications are eliminated by one consciousness. Now see, what is the story? We have started from multiplicity and slowly migrating to the unity. So if we have to practice this, what should be our practice? First of all, don't gather too many things. Just observe, this is very... See, spiritual life is not something abnormal lifestyle. Spiritual life is living in utter awareness in and through all the activities of life. Every moment we have to remain in utter awareness. Are we getting disturbed because of something? Then we are not a spiritual seekers. See? One person was asking me, Swamiji, you please tell me something. I said, what should I tell you? I read newspapers and then my mind gets so disturbed, I don't know what I should do. I said, you are dumb. Who told you to read newspaper? No, but without reading newspaper, I don't feel comfortable. I said, then suffer. I read every day so much of corruption, the politicians are like that, and there are accidents happening, and tsunamis coming and all that. You are making your mind as a garbage can. Who asked you? Nobody asked you to read newspaper. And we have been reading throughout our life. What did we gain? Nothing except frustration. See, friends, if you are a spiritual seeker, all these things will automatically disappear from your life. But we get unnecessarily involved in all these things. So, bhasayati ekadhachiti. If you are living in consciousness, all these things will not disturb us. See, friends, there is one book, Akash Yoga. I don't know, is it here? No. So, in that book, Akash Yoga, those lectures I had delivered in a yoga conference. So, I said, what should I talk? Somebody, we never give you subject. You talk whatever you like. So all the great yogis were sitting. So I said, okay, let us talk on Akash Yoga. So in that Akash Yoga, afterwards I came to know the same topic comes in Yoga Vasishta, which I never knew. I was so happy. So I said there are three spaces. One is the gross space called a Bhutakash. Second is the Chittakash, the mind space. And third is the Chidakash, the conscious space. The gross world, which is the field of experience, is not influencing the gross space. Similarly, the mind space is not influenced by the content of the mind called as the thoughts. And Chidakasha, the conscious space, is not influenced by the waker, the dreamer, the deep sleeper and the samadhi person. The spiritual journey is from the gross space to the mind space to the conscious space. From Bhutakash to Chittakash to Chidakash. This is the journey. See? And what is the journey? Simply accepting the facts of life. Gross space is uninfluenced by all the contents. So let us do that our practice. All the five objects of this world should not disturb us. The world is always like that. See? But we get so much influence and disturb. Then the second thing, the Chittakash, the mind space, is not disturbed by any thought. Because there are good thoughts or because there are bad thoughts, the mind is neither good nor bad. See, it is the thoughts which are good or bad, not the mind. The same mind supports both the thoughts equally well. Like the objects. Whether it is a discourse that is heard by the ears or it is a disco that is also heard by the ears. Are the ears becoming holy because of the discourse, becoming unholy because of the disco? No. Our eyes see the idol of God or a filth on the road. Are our eyes becoming holy, unholy? In the same manner, let there be waking, dream, deep sleep or samadhi. The conscious reality that we are never becomes a waker, never becomes a dreamer, never becomes a deep sleeper, never goes into samadhi. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha vedaisya sarvai ahameva vidyaha vedanta krut veda videva chaham. I am the heart of everything. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. And because of me only, jnanam, waking experiences of the waker. Then smriti, dream experiences of the dreamer. Apohanam, deep sleep experiences of the deep sleeper. Chakarat samadhi, the samadhi experience of the samadhi person. All of them are supported by me, but I am none of them. I have not become many. I continue to be one. So sarvaihi vedahi ahameva vidyaha. All the scriptures are meant for only to know who is this aham. Vidyaha, worthy of knowing. This I is worthy of knowing, not what the other people have taken a bribe. It is not our business. See? One place a person asked me, Swami, what is your opinion about this corruption in our country? I said, if I get chance, I will do also. So, you also do say yes. Do you think that you will not do if you don't get a chance? If you get a chance? I said, don't get lost. This is not a spiritual life. Sarvaihi Vedaihi, by all the scripture, Aham eva vidya. Who is this I? That is worthy of knowing. Then who is this I? He who supports the waking experiences of the waker without becoming a waker. The one who supports the dream experiences of the dreamer without becoming a dreamer. The one who supports the deep sleep experiences of the deep sleeper without going to sleep is still awake. See, friends, and he supports the experience of samadhi without beginning and ending of the samadhi. You are the same. You know, it is something like one man becomes the son, the husband, and the father. Has he become three? In this, which is the reality? The man is the reality, not the other three. And these non-existing other three, they are miserable. And the man is pathetically looking, "Arey, kyun miserable ho rahe yaar?" See, but we are so buried under this. One lady in Bombay one day became very angry after my lecture. "Swamiji, you are teasing us again and again. Get married and show how to be happy." So, she was miserable, and if you tell a miserable person again and again about happiness, they become more miserable. See, it is something like a person who doesn't get the sleep, and if his partner is able to sleep in one fraction of moment, this uto, sote rehte hain. One couple has seen very peculiar things in this world. He can eat the whole world. Anything he can eat. Sweets and oily, everything. But his figure is perfectly maintained. His wife, she looks at the sweets and she puts on 2 kilos. She doesn't have to eat. And therefore she is always angry. Tumko kuch hota nahi, kitna khate ho? See, friends, come to discover this truth. Nothing has ever touched you. You are divine. Whether you know or you don't know, whether you want or you don't want. Whether you know or you don't know, you are a man. Not the son, not the husband, not the father. And these non-existing three fellows, they are miserable. See? They are the virtual realities. Man is the actual reality. But we mistake the virtual reality as actual reality because virtual reality is useful. Be attentive. If something is experienced, something is useful, does not mean it is real. We experience the sunrise and sunset. Does it mean it is real? The longitudes and latitudes, they are useful in pinpointing any object fallen on the earth. Does it mean longitudes and latitudes are really lines on the globe? The direction north, east, west, south, are they real or the space is real? But we are lost so much in this virtual world. And we take the virtual world as real and therefore so suffer. Then what is to be done? Take the virtual world as virtual world and enjoy. Don't suffer. See, we look at the mirage waters and we enjoy, we don't suffer. But the animals, the deers, they take the mirage waters as real and they suffer. In the same manner, we look into the mirror and we enjoy. The bird looks into the mirror and suffers. Now what sadhana will you do, tell me? See, friends, when your data from your computer is deleted, does your computer become light? When you add lot of data, does it become heavy? The question is, when you delete, where it goes? It can go somewhere if it is not. Exactly the same way. When my wife died, where I, the husband, has gone? Think. When my father died, where I, the son, has gone? They go nowhere because they are nowhere. These non-existing virtual realities, that we take to be very serious and suffer. Therefore, wise people are never miserable. Otherwise, people are never happy. See, friends, wisdom goes along with wit and humor. The only expression of wisdom is this. See, they know this is all a great drama going on. Nothing is to be taken seriously. Now this conscious reality that we are is further told, Nodeti nastamittesha na vruddhim yati na kshayam swayam vibhati atha anyani bhasayet sadhanam vina. This is the 5th verse. Na udeti na astam eti esha. Esha, this samvit, this consciousness. What is it? Na udeti, it doesn't begin. It has no beginning. Now find out, do we have the experience of our birth? Birth means beginning. We don't experience. Somebody tells us, this is your date of birth. We agree. See? And in that also they tell you the time. I always remember this example. Once I happened to go to one maternity ward because my friend was having a lot of arguments with a nurse and she became very wild. She said, if you talk further and come inside, I'll call police. So he got so frustrated. He called me, Swamiji, please come and do something, I don't know whether my wife has delivered or not, whether a boy or a girl. Nothing is known, and this nurse, I don't know why she is so angry with me. And I knew why she is angry, because he had that expression. Whenever he should talk to somebody as if he is bouncing on, but that was his default setting. Others will not understand that. So I went and talked to that nurse. I knew her language, so I talked to her language. So she was very happy. He said, okay, you can come and see. I said, look here, that is his baby. Why should I go? Let him go. No. If you want, you can come and see. I will not allow him to come. Tomorrow when the doctor comes, we will see. So I told her, hey, Swamiji, at least you go and see. He said, okay, I went. First time and the last time. In that terrible place I went. Oh God. About a dozen ladies were sleeping there. And then I was looking, I said, that number, 420 number there. So that is the lady. Now, has she delivered? Oh, she has delivered. Which is the baby? Again, she went and saw the bands. This is the baby. First time I have seen few hours, maybe 1 or 2 hour old child, looking like a squirrel, ugly. There cannot be more ugliness than that. So horrible it was. Then after everything was done, I said, when the baby was delivered? She said 12:58. I said, okay, I noted. I said, Mama, all questions over. Now I am talking to you not as his friend, but as a Swami. For my general knowledge I want to know. Yes. How do you know exactly at 12:58 the baby was delivered? Were you waiting? Tack. Whether the head comes out or tail comes out, how do you know? What is exact time of date of time of birth? So she said, okay, I'll tell you the truth. If we tell these people the baby was born at 12 o'clock, they don't listen to us. Jhoot bol rahe. We have to give them odd figure. सब झूठ मूठ का चक्कर है. So we have neither the experience of birth, those who tell us you are born at such and such time, such and such date, that is also wrong. And yet, happy birthday to you. To the one who is never born, happy birthday. See, friends. We never have the experience of growth. See, nobody experiences. All the old people cut a pathetic joke. One old man asked me this thing. Swamiji, can you guess what is my age? So I looked at him, I said, 3 years. No, Swamiji, tell really. I said, such a question is never asked by a grown-up person. When you meet somebody for the first time in a dining hall, this is the question. So I said, okay, I'll tell you. You are actually 81 years young, but you look 18 years old. When I said like this, you are the first person who has correctly judged my age. Go on imagining, this is my age and all that. But I don't feel I am grown up. Nobody had the experience that we are growing. It is the grace of the society when they address us, uncle, auntie, dada, mama, then we start getting shivering on our muscles. There should be one old lady, she is no more now. Very sweet. So I used to go to her house once in a while and I will take one small child and teach the child. I will give one chocolate. When we go, tell. She was from Bombay. Aji, Swamiji, Alet. This much only you have to say, I will give you one chocolate. So the child is ready to do anything. So I say, go ahead. Then he will say, Aji, Swamiji, Alet. Don't call me Aji before everybody, call me Didi. She was 78. Call me Didi. Are Budau. It is not her fault. Nobody has the experience of growth. We never grow. Na udeti, na astameti. Astameti means absence or setting down. We never have the experience of death. Nobody has ever experienced death. If you experience death, then you were there. How can you die? See, friends, there is one dumb book, very popular, millions copies sold. All dumb books are sold in millions. And the book is Many Masters, Many Lives. Read that book. And you get so enchanted. Oh, she was there, this happened, and then one astray body came out. And the writer is a typical Catholic. He writes that my patient Catherine, she, with her permission, I did it. Although I am a Catholic by faith, I never believe in rebirth. But after studying all her, life through the regression, I have accepted now there is rebirth. One person from Australia asked me, Swamiji, for you people it is easier to accept rebirth and understand. But we don't believe in rebirth. I said, who told you? We don't believe in birth. Forget about rebirth. Where is the birth? Who is born? Bhagavan Krishna says, Ajopi sannavayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakrutim samadhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Although unborn, see, by acceptance of the conditioning, I make myself manifest. Now this you will understand through some example. One of my good friend, they were talking to me, husband and wife, Swamiji, we are constantly fighting, please do something, we should stop fighting. I said, how many years you are married? He said, 15 years. I said, you will fight for another 4 years. Then you will not fight. He said, how come? I said, now you are a teenager. Teenagers always fight. What is the age of the husband and the wife? The year of anniversary. If it is 10 years anniversary, then they are husband and wife 10 years of age. Therefore, during childhood they are goody-goody. But the moment they become teenagers, 13, 14 years of married life, then teenagers are bound to fight. How long will they fight? When they become 19 years. Thereafter, अब जाओ तो ठीक है. Friends, now tell me, will you say the husband and the wife are born on the day of marriage? And when their marriage ends, do we say that they died? Husband and wife, they are not the reality. They are adjustments. Man and woman is the reality. Come to know this truth, that the consciousness that we are, never we were born, nor ever we die. Na vruddhim na yati kshayam. Thus, when our attention comes back to our own self, thereafter, there is nobody who is living or dying. Friends, spiritual evolution is not becoming someone extraordinary, dropping all the extra and remaining ordinary. It is not someone becoming special, drop all the specialities and be commoner than the commonest. That is spiritual life. Life, the consciousness is common, whether good or bad, animal or plant, stones or bricks, everywhere the same reality. See, friends, this consciousness must be recognized as our essential nature and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo